can see behind me, we have my 2022 Hyundai Elantra N. MSRP with automatic is around $33,000. Get it a little less with manual. This comes in at 276 horsepower and 289 pound-feet of torque. You can get a 10 horsepower boost with the NGS button. Warranty comes with standard Hyundai warranty. You get your 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain along with your 5-year, 60,000 mile bumper to bumper. So just a quick look at the exterior here. You can see it comes standard with 19-inch wheels and summer tires installed direct from the factory. You also have a sunroof available only on the DCT model that comes standard. It is not an option. Also the gloss black spoiler and the large tailpipes that come with it. The DCT comes in at about 3,300 pounds. The manual comes in at roughly 3,200 pounds. I have been dreaming about this car for a long time. Finally got my hands on it. We're at about 1,600 miles and I'm super stoked to get in. Let's go. Had the vehicle for a couple of months now. I'm at about 1,700 miles. So far, 100% happy with just about everything on the vehicle. It drives nicer than even I think I could understand in some of the YouTube videos and promotional videos that I've watched. Paddle shifters respond fantastic, both for downshifting and upshifting. I will definitely say that you get a little bit of oversteer, but what front wheel drive vehicle are you not? I know Albert Bierman talked about how that was more of a feature on this car than it was an issue. I'm sure that's up for debate. So definitely taking corners is more fun than any vehicle that I've ever owned. I'm actually coming from a 2016 Kia Forte 5 SX, which is the turbo 1.6 liter that they're putting in a lot of the GTs now, GT lines, N lines. It's a very similar setup. Super fun vehicle. Certainly doesn't have any of the features that this car has, but for the price, that was probably the funnest cars I've ever personally owned. This is about a $10,000 plus upgrade from that, but I think that you're getting it well worth the money. Certainly features versus price, you're getting a fantastic deal. I just can't think of anything really on the market when you're even just looking at the Kia side of the house. Really the Stinger, the standard Stinger, not the the GT line, but not the GT, is probably going to be the most comparable thing on the Kia side. I would say that's more of a luxurious feeling vehicle than this. This is a little lower to the ground, limited slip differential. It's front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive, so certainly going to be catering to a totally different market. I think they're fun in their own ways. With the new seats in the N, you don't get these seats in the Kona, but you do obviously in the Elantra N. You've got the nice little light that brightens up. I'll say as far as comfort goes, they're pretty comfortable. I'm only about 165 pounds, 5'11", so I fit perfectly in them. I have heard some complaints of taller, heavier, wider guys saying that just the side bolstering can be a little bit tight, both on the hips and the love handles. So if you're a bigger guy, you may want to definitely test drive and get a good feel for the bucket seats before you make the purchase. So as far as steering is concerned, in full N mode, steering is incredibly tight, but you really feel everything in the vehicle because you're so low. It's certainly nice when you're going through nice curvy roads. I'd say for around town driving, full N mode is probably a bit much. The suspension's really stiff. Even the transmission can get a bit jerky when you're in slow and go, touch and go traffic. So I would say N mode definitely, but maybe more of a custom N mode where you can lighten up the suspension, lighten up the steering a little bit, and maybe even to lighten the transmission, just depending on where you like those shift points when you're commuting. Just got back from our drive. Super excited to tell you about 3 things I really love about this car. Number 1, the factory tune. There's really nothing else in this segment that you can drive off the lot that has a built-in factory tune, essentially, with the N modes, with the overdrive and the 10 extra horsepower. It's fantastic. Number 2, the seats. The seats are awesome. You get the little N light. They're bucket seats. They fit really nice, tuck you right in. The bolstering's good. And the third thing is that exhaust. Being able to get something like that right off the factory line in this price range, in this segment, with that kind of sound, and being able to turn that off with the variable option is fantastic. Now to the 3 things that I'd really actually like to change about this car. One thing is the brake dust. You've got these performance brakes, which are great. They stop really well, but man, they just push dust all over the rims, all over the side of the car, and you can really see it in this performance blue. I'm sure there's some colors that would hide that a little bit better, but you kind of sacrifice some things for that performance. Number 2, the wheels, they look good. I'd prefer black. They're really heavy. They're 31 pounds a piece without the tire, and that's just a little bit too heavy for me for a performance vehicle. I'd love to have some options there, which brings me to my 3rd thing that I would really like to change. And that 3rd thing would just be having any kind of available options at all on this vehicle. You get what you get. So you either get the DCT or you get the manual, and the really only big difference between those 2 is the sunroof. And at the end of the day, for me, yes, this is my personal vehicle, but I would buy this car over and over again. And people ask me that all the time, and I think it's fun. I think it's unbridled, it's low to the ground, it's quick, it takes corners fantastically. There's nothing to really hate about this car. Even though there's a few little things I'd love to change here and there, I'd buy it over and over again. So for me, I'm saying crap yeah on this one. We'll catch you guys next time, but until then, I'm going for another ride. Get the N modes, and you can turn this thing into an everyday commuter as well. The next thing
What happened?
Dorky dorky.